Friday Business with Madison Reedy. So Madison, liquidators for eBert Construction, they've had something more to say?
Yeah, they gave us an update today. They released their first, but actually the second liquidators report. Remember that the original liquidators were rolled late last year. And in this report, it revealed that the creditor claims against this failed construction company, eBert Construction, they've swelled almost 4 times what they were 6 months ago. So the first liquidators report said that the creditor claims were $24.5 million. That has now ballooned to $108.8 million. Now, that is because the largest principal contractors of eBert, who had some of those 15 active sites when it went into receivership and liquidation, they've now laid their claims against the company. Now, the liquidators also said they do actually expect that number to grow. The swelling is not over yet. They're still expecting another $10.9 million in creditor claims yet to be filed. And also we should note that these claims do include about $757,000 of claims related to employee entitlements. But we should note there too that regardless of the size of the creditor claims and how much money they say they want back, they're likely that they won't get any of it back, because the receivers told us on Monday that there's likely to be no funds left over from the receivership to even transfer to liquidators to distribute to creditors. Within that liquidators report as well, we did get an update on their investigation thus far. They think that the three directors of eBert Construction may have breached their duties. Now, there's 3 of them. Their names are Nigel Foster, Calvin Hale and Lawrence Phillips. Now, they've been put on notice by the liquidators. They've been told that legal action is likely. Now, I understand that those legal proceedings are likely to be filed in courts as soon as next week. We also found out that one creditor of eBert Construction, we don't know if it's a he or a she, they were unnamed, but this person likely received priority payments from eBert while it was still operating, and they're likely to be chased through the courts too, because liquidators asked them to set that money aside and they refused to do so.
That is interesting. Okay, NZX annual meeting, was it a ripper?
I wasn't there, so I don't know. It was in Dunedin today, but as we know, the NZX has been having a bit of a tough time of late. It's been slammed by shareholders publicly recently, who've told it to do better, to shake up its management, to cut down on costs, because its management have been known to fly all around the world to lavish events. And there is a bit of a bone of contention there, particularly in the way that it doesn't shape up to its, not necessarily competitors, but its counterparts around the world, particularly in relation to Australia, the ASX. They do things much better than the NZX here on a much lesser resourced organisation over there too. And the shareholders do have reason to be upset. The NZX's net profit for the financial year last year was down 22% and their revenue was flat. So at the annual meeting in Dunedin today, the NZX told its shareholders that it had planned to cut costs and that was on track. For this financial year, they expect to cut costs by about 8%, and they say that they had a pretty good reception from shareholders there.
Okay. Rest of the markets in our dollar, how are we tracking?
The NZX Top 50 index closed down almost I think I've got that wrong there. I wrote 4%, but that's certainly not right. It was a 0.4%, so that was just a fall of 35 points. That is another loss that we've seen. We have been on record-breaking highs of late. We fell last night and again today. So we closed at 9,857 points this evening. The New Zealand dollar is buying at 67.5 US cents, 94.8 the Australian, and 51.6 British pence.
Thanks, Madison. Have a great weekend. That's Madison Reedy with Business.